What is up, everyone? Brandon of the League Winners here once again for another interview. This time we have Demetrius Geathers Jr, USF commit. Demetrius, how you doing today?
Doing great, man. And you?
I'm doing great. Cannot complain. So, to get us started here today, you've been committed to USF for a decent amount of time as a part of a very, very talented 2026 class. What made the school stand out to you, and what ultimately made you decide to commit there?
I'll say early on it was definitely like how the coaches bring their players together. I remember when they played Miami at first in the beginning of the game, they were definitely all fired up. The coaches riled their players together, definitely get it, juices flowing and going. And then I remember at the end of the game when they lost, I seen how they reacted, how they handled it. And then later on, I remember I went back up there. I seen how they broke down film, how they're going to execute the next game. They reflect on everything. It was great. And then especially the coach, D-line coach Kevin Patrick, he's been on me hard since he first offered me. He tells me everything, what I need to do, what I need to improve on, especially when he came down in spring. He said he really loved that I improved on my run game. It was great. It was great going to USF, and I'm glad I committed there.
Love that. So shifting to your actual game, you've been a consistent pass rushing presence in your career up to this point. How do you approach attacking different offensive linemen and deciding which pass rushing moves to use depending on who you're facing?
So, for me, I'm going off of film. I go off what's how they favorite. Do they jump set you? Do they kick all the way out? Are they staying in one place? Going against when I played Columbus, I definitely had to feel out the first couple of plays of how this offensive lineman, worked. He really at first he would try to kick and stay in one space. One kick and stay in one place. It was easy to get around him. Then I remember he caught me one time when he jumps at me. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you power. So it was easy for me to translate my game. You gotta see what the offensive lineman's hands, their feet, what they're doing, and be able to react.
And then building on top of that, what would you say is your go-to move as a pass rusher? And if it's not a specific one, what's your favorite one to use in certain situations?
Okay, I have two because they go hand in hand. So I would say a long arm and then a long arm to a ghost. It's very easy because when you see me, you're expecting a lot of speed. You're expecting a speed rush. And then I hit you with power. I'm throwing you off your feet. You wasn't expecting that. And then the next play, I'm going to hit you with a speed and ghost you, and I'm getting right around you. So I love those two moves. They go hand in hand, and it works great for me.
So you love setting up offensive linemen.
Yes. I love offensive linemen.
So on top of your pass rushing game, you've also been a consistent presence in the backfield on run plays, and you spoke about how you're trying to improve that area of your game. What is your overall mentality as a player that allows you to achieve this?
For me, I know we got one of the best D-lines in the state, and it was our coach told us hey, I know we got the best D-line in the state, but why not you be the best player for this D-line? So it was more hey, if this person don't make the play, I'm the last man on the line. Even though I know I'm not, but I have to put that in my mind to let it know I have to make this tackle, I have to do this. So I wouldn't have to put so much pressure on our linebackers or our DBs when I'm chasing down backside.
I love it. I truly, truly love that answer. Love that attacking mentality based I'm going to go make a play every single time. And that builds on to what I want to ask you next. As we head into the summer, as we head toward the fall, what have you been the most focused on improving at your position?
For me, I would say right now I'm focused on gaining weight. I'm weighing in at 210 right now. I'm trying to get to 225, 230. Because I know I'm on the lighter side. I want to be a little bit heavier so I can utilize more power moves. It's easy for me to use speed moves, but I want to use, expand my game to more power moves, so the offensive line has more to worry about.
Awesome. And then this is a question I ask everybody I interview. If there was one player, past or present, NFL, college, can be any level of football, who you could have as a mentor or coach, who would it be and why?
It would either be TJ Watt or Michael Parsons. Why? for Michael Parsons, I see I love the way he rushes the passer and gets after it. He brings a lot of joy and energy to the team, and that's really me. I'm very passionate about the game. And then for TJ Watt, he's very much killer mode intense. And when I'm locked in, I see myself in him. He's smooth, he's fast when he gets off the ball, great bend. It just reminds me a lot of my game and try to, replicate what they do as a player.
Yeah, those two players, I see that 100%, especially you talking about the bend. That's something you consistently display on tape, and makes sense that those are the guys that, not only would you want in that situation, but also you're trying to model your game after. And that brings me to my last question for you. Heading into your senior year of high school, what do you want to showcase this year? And what goals or milestones do you have for the upcoming season?
So for what I want to showcase is definitely more power. I know a lot of my film is me getting under offensive linemen. I want to definitely showcase, more of my long arm. I just got really into a long arm over the off season. I know I've been working on a stutter bull, and as a goal for what I want to complete this season, I want to go over 10 sacks. It's definitely going to be hard to do with the defensive line we have, but that's the goal I want to achieve, bring the best out of myself.
I love that answer, man. Thank you so much for your time. Before we get out of here, where can everyone find you? And when do you guys start your season this year?
We start Monday, June 2nd, and you can find me on Instagram at DEE_.2hard. And you can find me on Twitter at Demetrius, DEMETRIUS, and then GEATH and the number 1 on Twitter.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Demetrius is an awesome player. Really enjoyed what I've seen from him so far, and make sure to check him out this season. We'll be back with more interviews in the future. Thank you guys for checking it out, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you.